Welcome to our WOW Expo News Update podcast where we talk about the latest news in the logistics and supply chain. Today I like to welcome here Mr. Zvi Schreiber, who is the founder and CEO of Freightos, the digital platform for the $1 trillion international freight industry. Previously, Zvi was CEO of Lightech, which is acquired by GE, and founder and CEO of Unicorn, which is acquired by IBM. Welcome, Zvi, and thanks so much for
Thanks.
joining us today.
Thanks, Lucia.
Please tell us a bit more about the Freightos and what does the Freightos do?
Sure. So Freightos is really the digital platform for international freight, ocean and air. So we have two main divisions who work together. We have Freightos WebCargo, which is helping all the freight forwarders to manage their rates and to book with the carriers. And we have Freightos.com, which is a public site which allows shippers to get visibility into freight forwarders and place bookings with freight forwarders. So it's a bit like in the travel industry, you've got sort of booking.com and Expedia, and then behind that you have Sabre and Amadeus. So there are digital connections. So Freightos is doing the same. We're getting the rates in real time from carriers to freight forwarders, from freight forwarders to shippers, and we're getting the bookings in real time from the shippers, the importers and exporters, that is, to the freight forwarders, and from the freight forwarders to the carriers.
Oh, well, amazing. It is safe to say the Freightos is all about the innovation, if I may say. And it was only a while ago that you have implemented the WebCargo platform, thanks to which the DAC, Digital Air Cargo, comes to life. Can you tell us a bit more about this platform? How does it work? What are the advantages?
Yeah, sure. Well, WebCargo has a much longer history than that. WebCargo was started by two young entrepreneurs, Manalen and Rick, in their university dorm 12 years ago in Barcelona. So it had quite some history, and it was growing up over 10 years, let's say, to manage rates for mostly air rates till recently. Now it's also ocean, but to manage air rates for freight forwarders around the world. But till 2 years ago, all those rates were coming from Excel sheets. So it was already a very popular software as a service product. It's used by more than 30% of all the air freight forwarders in the world are using WebCargo. So it's very, very popular in air. It's now
Very great.
gaining a lot of popularity in ocean as well. It's used by the majority of the top 20 freight forwarders use it. So it had a lot of scale. But till 2 years ago, it was all just showing rates that came out of Excel sheets. It wasn't dynamic. And then in 2018, 2019, the first airlines created a digital capability, which we call digital air cargo, like you said, DAC, digital air cargo. So the first ones were Lufthansa, Air France KLM, the IAG group, which is, includes British Airways and Iberia. And so it started to actually become digital, and we're working with the airlines to create a real-time connection, so that just like, in passenger already for 20 years, you can see flights and choose and book, but in air cargo, that's still very new. But like you said in your introduction, that's got fantastic momentum. So last year, and I think COVID actually helped in a way, because everything's changing so quickly. Flights are being changed and cancelled and added every day. So using Excel sheets is just completely useless now. And so that was also gave an incentive to innovate. And so in the last year, the number of bookings of digital air cargo has grown more than 1,000%. It's growing tens of percent every month. So it's very, very exciting to see an industry which got very far behind now catching up very, very quickly. And we're very excited that Freightos WebCargo is really the leading platform for digital air cargo.
Yeah, I would say some great numbers to share, definitely.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, talking innovation, do you have anything exciting in development at the moment?
Yeah, we always have a lot of things that are in development. In fact, we're working very hard to hire developers, as well as if you're a developer listening to this, please please apply for a job. So we're working very hard to accelerate our innovation. In air, the bookings are working well, but we need to deal with more and more products, temperature controlled and hazardous and allotments. And so we have many areas we need to expand it beyond the most simple booking. And of course, we're adding more airlines. Every month we add another airline, more or less. In ocean, it's a little bit further behind, but we're seeing some progress also with dynamic rates and digital booking or e-booking for ocean as well. So that's a major initiative. And also we're more and more tying our platforms together so that rates can really go from the carrier to the forwarder to the shipper, all in 1 second. So yeah, lots of things to work on for sure.
That's amazing. And also, you mentioned the COVID-19, the pandemic, and the digitalization, and all this. So, well, it was more than a year now that the pandemic was declared. And how would you say it affected the efficiency in the shipping, the freight management? Do you think there are possibly readjustments needed for the development?
Yeah, I think in many ways it's been obviously it's been a horrible pandemic and many people have died. But it's definitely been on the positive thing for the industry is that it's definitely been a wake up call. And first of all, I mean, if we think a year ago, last April was a very scary time.
Definitely.
China factory was still closed. They hadn't reopened from, after Chinese New Year, they stayed closed. Almost all the flights in the world were cancelled, and I think more than 90% were cancelled. The economies were in trouble. But then by the end, within a few months, people in the West, for example, started buying goods at record rates, and it became a record year for the industry. And people started converting passenger planes into cargo planes, and ocean rates achieved records. We publish also the Freightos Baltic Index, so we publish the leading daily index for ocean rates. And we've seen, if you look at the FBX, it's all public. People can look at the FBX site for free. You'll see, and many of you know already, that ocean rates have reached records that we've never seen by far. Double the rates that we used to. So it's ended up being a record year in terms of rates, but also a record in terms of volatility. I mean, the rates are changing very, very quickly. A lot of people don't realize, but rates for international freight are more volatile than the stock market, more volatile than commodity prices. These prices change very rapidly. And so the old way of doing Excel sheets is really dead. And I think all the carriers and forwarders are rushing to get real-time data, real-time bookings, real-time rates. And yeah, I think more than anything else, COVID-19 has created more volatility, and therefore now it's clear to everyone that the old way with Excel sheets is just not possible anymore. And so everyone's running to create APIs, real-time digital connections. And that's exciting for us. We're partnering with more and more forwarders and airlines and shippers to help them adjust to this new world where everything is real time and everything is digital and instant.
Yeah, exactly, and logistic is very adaptive industry, right, forwarders as well. So that's a good thing there. Also, Amazon is expanding its service into the logistics. So, what do you think? How will this impact the shipper, the importers, the sellers, and also eventually the end consumers?
Yeah. So yeah, that's a fascinating question because Amazon don't share my plans they don't share their plans with me or with you. So we can only speculate. But even from public knowledge, we know, of course, they're a huge player in warehousing already.
Mm-hmm.
I think more than 20% of the international shipments which are booked on Freightos.com, the destination is an Amazon warehouse. So we see Amazon as a major warehousing player. And of course, nobody else comes close to that. So we're seeing Amazon as the biggest warehousing player that's used at least by our customers. And then, of course, they have an NVOCC license, so they're an ocean freight forwarder. They have aircraft, so they're an air carrier. They have an airport. They have trucks. So they're playing in many, many parts of logistics. At the same time, there's kind of an alliance, I think, an opposite alliance, which is trying to allow independent retailers to have some of the same benefits. You've got Shopify, You've got some other very good, warehousing solutions. You've got Alibaba, who we work with, trying to empower, independent companies to work online. And so I think although Amazon is becoming a very broad and dominant player, I think there are some excellent technologies which allow any e-commerce site to have some of the same great service that Amazon provides. And so it's interesting to see that playing out. And certainly, I think a lot of people look at Amazon with some admiration and some nervousness because they're a very formidable company. But I think it's also exciting to see the technologies which are available to other e-commerce players. So we work with a lot of independent e-commerce companies who are not Amazon. Some of them sell on Amazon as well, but they have their own website, and some of them use Amazon warehousing, but they also use other players. So there's more and more infrastructure available for e-commerce, which is not Amazon.
Amazing. Well, thank you, Zvi, for your time and all the valuable insights you provided us with us today. And it was really great to talk to you. Pleasure.
Thanks, Lucia. Great to be on.
And
Bye for
thank
now.
you all for the attention.